Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the 2024 Jeep Wrangler Facelift and this is the key of the vehicle. If I press this button twice, it actually turns on the car. 3, 2, 1 and there the car turns on. It's a bit slow to respond but a lot of cars from this group are getting this particular feature because I remember in Dubai I did the exact same thing with the Dodge Charger as well. Now the key has 3 buttons. Unlock the car, lock the car and this to turn on the vehicle by pressing it twice. It's a flip key, but you need the flip actually because you can lock a few things in this particular car. This is very much rubberized, so obviously you can dip this into water as well. Anyways, changes are quite minimal on this car. This is the Rubicon variant, which is the top spec variant in India. There's a lower unlimited variant, which is cheaper, but not as off-road specific as this particular car because this one has a different crawl ratio as well. Now it gets the traditional 7-slat Jeep grille, which has been replicated between the wipers as well, right there. So lot of Easter eggs on this car. In fact, it has this sort of a thing. So this is so that when you fold the windscreen, it is able to rest on this, or when you open the hood, it is able to rest on that. And then this fake treatment here, which looks rugged, I don't know why it's there. Something has peeled off or stuck here on the hood, which is not that nice. So it gets a front parking camera here and it gets a spray to clean the camera as well. The engine is quite loud at the moment, I don't know why. The grille has been revised, so it is actually shorter now, but it has enough space to breathe better. In fact, they have made the grille shorter just so that they can give factory fitted winch as option, not in India, globally. Here it is an accessory obviously. You get front fog lamps and those are for the indicators of course. Now the earlier model had an antenna here which has been removed because the antenna has been integrated right here into the windscreen as well. And then there's this camera because it has got ADAS functions too. In fact, it shows you the Jeep or Willys logo right here and there are a lot of these in the car, like almost everywhere. And if you notice, exposed screw heads, yeah, there are a lot of those in this car just to give you that traditional appeal. Now let's do one thing. Let's straight away open the engine bay rats. Oh my god, every time I do this, it starts ringing and then the car turned off because I did not unlock the car. So this started ringing. The thing is, anyone can open this. Yeah, you don't have to open it from the inside. Anyone can open the engine bay, which I'll show you right now. You put those two things on the side down and then you put this up and then you have to push something inside and there it opens and it is super duper heavy. My goodness, it's insulated obviously. And if you see this particular thing, you can use that to keep the hood open. However, I'm just going to use another method of just putting it right there, support with the roof, that is, because this thing can be done. This car has done barely 200 kilometers, yet the engine feels like it has gone through 1 million miles because it's super duper dirty because this car has been off-roading quite a lot. This is where washer fluid goes in obviously, and this is sort of the base spec engine. Let me actually shut this right away and I'm going to push it down and listen to this. Okay, oopsie doopsie doo, says Rubicon right there. In fact, this has the first in segment, let me read it here, cornering gorilla glass. Yes, that's right. So stone chips or scratches and breakage of the glass is better contained in this particular car because it is resistant to that because of the tough glass which has been used right here. Off-road specific car now, so it definitely needs this feature. Let me quickly shut the hood. I think we have hit it on the wrong place here, but everything is so rugged now, nothing's going to break. And there it is. Shut this. I know the Thar also has it, very similar. In fact, this car looks like a 5-door version of the Mahindra Thar because Mahindra has cut, copy, pasted the exact same car. The windshield can be folded down for open top motoring, or if you want to take a shot of your enemy, you can do it from your driver's seat itself.
Okay, that was dark.
Now the tire size on this car happens to be 255 75 17s and the unlimited version has 18-inch wheels, 17 inches here, so that higher sidewall, better ground clearance as well. In fact, a lot of Easter eggs. You'll notice that particular Willys logo is here. Yeah, that's another change which has happened in this particular car. You get 4 parking sensors at the front and like I was telling you, it has got a lot of ADAS functions as well. Now coming to the side of the car, this car is around 4.9 meters in terms of length. The wheelbase is more than 3 meters. So yes, it is quite a long car. And then you can remove the doors. Yes, that can be done as well. If you notice, the rear doors are actually much smaller in comparison. It says Jeep here, which is sort of metalish. This Wrangler is a sticker, trail rated 4x4, and I don't know what this fake treatment is. This is super wide, yeah. This is actually quite wide, the wheel arches, and exposed screw nuts almost everywhere. In fact, it even tells you the size of the screw nuts. So if you want to remove it, you know exactly what tool you need for the same. I think the indicator is placed here as well. So it has got a manual, this thing, to open the door. So you can just put the key and open the door from here, and obviously it's got a request sensor here as well. Straight away, let's get into the rear, which is not very impressive. I'll tell you why. Because getting in and out is not the easiest. Yeah, it's a bit of a climb. Under thigh support is very, very, very poor. Look at that. What is this? There's no under thigh support here. Headroom is good enough though, decent I would say. Scooped out, there's a magazine holder here, which is a net. Height adjustable seat belts for the front. You get the power window controls here because obviously the doors can be removed. 2 USB-C, 2 USB-A, and a laptop charger as well. And if you notice, there, the wheelies is right here as well. Too many Easter eggs in this car, which actually rob the essence of an Easter egg. And the seats are actually quite nice. Isofix child seat mounts. Let's put this down because it gets a armrest, twin cup holders, some storage space here. It actually comes down with the headrest. This is not an adjustable headrest though. Those are also not adjustable actually. Roll cage is there, which actually has airbag written on it, because for the first time the Wrangler gets 6 airbags. Yeah, safety was an issue earlier, so now they put 6 airbags, and they put airbags in this roll cage, which is quite crazy. Speaker placement here. This has a 9-speaker Alpine sound system, which is actually good. It has got active noise cancellation as well, another new feature which has been added, so less noise on the inside, yet it's quite noisy. You have this handle you really needed to get in and out because it's quite the climb, and you have got rear AC vents right here. None here, it's not needed, but everything feels very rugged and hard plasticky sort of. Door pockets here, but this is so small now, kind of feel claustrophobic on the inside. Let me get out. So I think it has got 4 or 5 speakers or microphones for that noise cancellation thingy. Anyways, listen to this, okay? Quite rugged, yeah, very rugged. To access the fuel lid, I mean, you can just open it like this, but you have to put the key inside to open it. So again, something similar to the Thar. These are the rear fog lights. You get a towing hook here. You get 4 parking sensors at the rear. It says Jeep right there, and the lights seem all LED. Request sensor here as well. Full size spare wheel. It says trail rated. The rear parking camera has been integrated right here. Says 4x4 as well. Where is the exhaust? The exhaust I think is somewhere here. Yeah, that is the exhaust of the vehicle. You can see the suspension. The rear axle is more rugged now for better towing capacity. Let's open this again. Very much like the Thar. Spray comes from there. Put the glass up, and that is the subwoofer, Alpine subwoofer. That roll cage is painted in red, and you can actually remove the roof. In fact, Jeep is giving you the option of opting for different type of doors, which are open doors, and which actually brings me to the fact that you can put this seat down like this. So there, the headrest folds, and then you can put it down. So 40-60 split. If you want to increase the boot carrying capacity, one tip, just get the 3-door version. 3-door is not available in India. It is, but Mahindra is selling it. It says Jeep here, trail rail ready. I think this panel also opens. It gives you all the specifications of the car right here. So it is actually manufactured in India. So it's assembled 1941 when the wheelies first came out. And here you get some interesting bits, because I think this is a toolkit for opening the doors. And this is the warning triangle. This is probably when you get stuck in slush. So you can put this below the tires and try to come out. And this is where the screws should go. So when you open the roof, all the screws should go here. When you open the windshield, all the screws should go here. And when you open the door hinges, all the screws should go there. Why does it say open? What does it open? Yeah, you can open it and then access the jack. I don't know how you access rows, but I would love to access rows as well. And here you get a 12-volt charging socket. Another Easter egg, actually JL is the model code of this car, which is written there. So yeah, this car is filled with a ton of Easter eggs. Let's shut this and let me bang close the door. Okay, this is BF Goodrich tires. Meanwhile, what are the tires running on this car? They are also BF Goodrich. So yes, there is at least symmetry or consistency there, but a lot of exposed hinges, which is quite cool actually. I definitely like it. Let's get inside. Now, if you notice one thing, here also you get a key to put in just in case that doesn't work. It says trail ready here too, but does it have a towing hook at the front? Let me check. Yeah, there is no towing hook there, but it gets a skid plate so that the engine is protected if you try to hit something off-road, which is going to happen for sure, because you're going to take it to places which you should definitely take it to. Now, it has got a 12-way adjust for the driver, and it says airbag here. The whole interior is waterproof, which is amazing, and you have certain buttons on the door pad, like for the outside rear view mirror adjustment, unlock and locking of the vehicle, which is there on the co-passenger door as well. But no power window controls here because the doors can be removed. And there's a speaker placement here. There's no dead pedal, which is a big miss, because I don't know where to keep my left foot. It's a huge problem. Obviously, light controls here. This is for front fog, this is for rear fog, and this is to, you know, adjust the intensity of the cluster, I think. And this is for headlight leveling, obviously. AC vents, you can just rotate them like this. Some red treatment here, you need to hold this to get inside. And then the seats actually feel quite nice. It says Rubicon right there. The interior has been revised in the sense that the center console is a bit different now. Earlier they had circular vents on the side. The vents have come below here. Why has that happened? Because the screen has become much bigger in size. Let me do one thing. Let me actually turn on the car and check this out. Okay, every time I turn on the car now, it actually shows me the transformation from a Willys to a Wrangler. Isn't that such a cool thing in that 7-inch display? I think it's a 7-inch display. Let me try turning on the vehicle again. It keeps saying Jeep again and again. So here we turn it on. No, it didn't say anything right there. Let me turn it off. Let me open the door again and it says Jeep. Yes. I think since 1941 it should say. No, it is not saying that at all. So the other problem is they have done a little bit of cost cutting here and there, which is quite surprising because the front windows are one touch down, but they're not one touch up, and rear ones are nothing, not even one touch up or down. You've got lights, multiple lights almost everywhere, and this roof can be removed, but then you have to store it in the boot. However, abroad they also have an electrically folding roof, so it is not this type of a roof. It's sort of I think it's a rubberized roof which actually folds, giving you one touch open top motoring, which unfortunately not been offered in India. Let's unlock the car, let's turn it on, and there the screen should say Jeep, but it is sometimes very slow. I think command goes all the way to the United States of America. Still not woken up, dude. It's morning. Get up, get up, get up. So there the screen has gone for a nice vacation. There it says Jeep. Interestingly though, whenever you turn on and off the vehicle, it actually says here since 1941, yeah, there, which is actually telling you which mode this car is in. So yeah, 2 high, 4 high, 4 low, neutral and all. There, that's another small chintu mintu screen right there. So this screen has been revised. So thankfully they have got analog tachometer, analog speedometer, and then you can browse through a lot of information here. So there's speedometer, vehicle information, off-road statistics. It is loaded. It has got adaptive cruise control, which actually shows you a Willys ahead, which is amazing. Mileage 7.4 kilometers per liter, trip information, stop start system, audio, and you get messages. So it's a very similar system like what we have seen in other Jeep cars as well. So nothing much has changed on that front. Says Jeep here. The horn is decent. These are the buttons for adaptive cruise control. Yeah, it has got that now. And these are the buttons to operate this particular screen and also for phone calls. And it's got voice commands. This is manual. So where is the lever? Keep hunting for it. The adjustment isn't much. Yeah? It doesn't move much, so it's a little restricted in that regard. I love the fact these Easter eggs look super cool, huh? So many places they are there. And here you get a mirror along with a light as well. Just put this down here to open the roof. So that's something which can be easily done. Auto dimming mirror here, same is the case there. Also you get lights and a mirror, which is like obviously a good thing. Says airbag right there. In fact, the glove box can be locked, and the glove box is like very small, and it kind of feels a little badly put together because look at it, it moves around a lot there. Now you have got a front center armrest. You have this red stitching which is there on the dashboard as well. Quality is quite impressive, and below here you've got some storage space with a USB-A charging socket as well. In fact, you have got another storage space here with this sort of a treatment. This treatment is here to get a manual handbrake, twin cup holders, very much rubberized, so that's a good thing. And that is the lever for off-road mode selection. This is the gear lever which again has the Willys logo on it, and this is for USB-C as well as USB-A and an aux. This car actually has got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity. These are the power window controls. It obviously gets a cigarette lighter here. So for auxiliary functions, in order to put a light here, you can do that. When you do that now, you cannot put the windscreen down. Hey animal, what's up? Are you enjoying this particular off-road? Why are you out of focus, dude? Come in focus, bro. Anyway, that's not going to happen. So yeah, I love this. I love this red treatment as well. This is for the off-road mode. You can disconnect the front sway bar, which is basically the anti-roll bar. And this is to lock the front and rear differentials. And this is only for the rear differentials. And then you can turn off the diff lock from here. So yeah, easy. This all is marked in red. Lot of physical controls, which is a good thing. You've got heated steering, which is there on the left side, which should be there on the right side, but this car is mostly made for left-hand drive markets. That's the reason why this is placed here. Physical volume control, and that's a good thing. Yeah, I love the fact they've got so many physical buttons here. Anyways, let's come into reverse. So this is the reverse parking camera. You've got a front view as well, and then obviously I can clean the front camera. Why don't they occupy the whole thing? Why are they telling me Jeep? I know this is a Jeep. It says it right here as well. Anyways, let's get out of this. Now this screen is decent. It's got a lot of stuff. So it has got something known as off-road pages. It will tell you pitch and roll. It will tell you a lot of gauges as well. And then it has the forward-facing camera, which I already showed you, which you can spray to clean to. Now let's get into the overall menu here, which is good. I mean, it's a little cumbersome, but yeah, you have a lot of information right here. You obviously have a tire pressure monitoring system. What's there in comfort? You can heat the front seats. Cooling function would be nice. I don't know why they skip out on such things. Yeah, but the quality of the screen is definitely a lot more impressive now because it is bigger, it's slicker to use, and it's a very similar screen as to what we have seen in other Jeep cars. So this is actually the Uconnect 5 now, which is the latest system obviously, and there's nothing much to explore here other than off-road pages. Get into control settings. So yeah, the usual things. Mirror dimmer, I can do that from the inside, and it's got onboard navigation, yeah, which shows that the earth is round, and I am in no man's land, so right now it's not going to figure out where I am. Anyways, good thing is that you can actually go ahead and mount your action camera here. So this rubberized thing comes out and there are screws, and also you can mount your action camera here, which is quite cool now. Yeah, some of the attention to detail in this car is absolutely mind-blowing. How do they even think of such small things? I don't even understand. But that is quite impressive. Anyways, as I see it, the interior has become more practical now thanks to this bigger screen, and AC vents have been moved here. Earlier they were there, so they've like been moved on the side, which is again a good thing. Only thing is with my left leg, I'm just wondering where do I keep it, because how can they miss out on a dead pedal? That's like the worst thing they can ever do. And I don't know why it's telling me the fuel efficiency in miles per gallon. At least that's something I can change by going to the settings. There are a lot of settings to go through. It has got engine start stop button, which the Thar does not have, and this thing is also lockable. So there's this thing to lock it, but I think any key will work here probably. Yeah, they have given that as well, so they know that anyone can access the vehicle because you will keep the roof out from the vehicle. But enough of talking, let's start driving right away. All right, let's turn on the car and let's straight away get into 4 high, into drive, and off we go. So small things keep coming in between. Let's turn off the parking sensors because they can be very aggressive, especially when you go off the road. Steering is actually very light, but it has no feel, no connection at all, because this is a very old school ball bearing type steering wheel, and that's the reason it's not really meant for handling. And this is not a car meant for handling, but off the road is where it excels. So today our drive is largely going to be off-road itself, because on the road the Wrangler just does not excel at all. But when you take it off-road now, it is just unbelievable. The question is, how many people are actually going to take this car off-road? Now obviously this is very off-road centric a car, and it has all the old school stuff which you would expect, like solid axles both at the front and the rear, front locking diff, rear locking diff. Parking sensors are kicking in again. On such a trail, now the problem is this car is a very wide car, so you have to be a bit careful. Yeah, the width is quite a lot, but the view around is amazing. Firstly, you can see the hood and you can see those rubber stoppers, because that obviously hits the windscreen. And Jeep is offering a ton of accessories, including doors which are open ones without any windows. That is also available. You can put this windscreen down. Takes a little bit of effort to do that obviously. Now the steering is actually starting to feel a bit heavy as you speed up, but at low speeds now it's extremely light, so it's a very easy car to maneuver. Yeah, there is no rear wheel steering, don't expect that. That's something which makes maneuverability a bit difficult around tight turns when you go off-road. And then obviously it moves around quite a lot, especially when you're going through such kind of terrain. Should I take it from the right side?
No, keep it.
Yeah, ground clearance is enough to go over such rocks. Yeah, 237 mm of ground clearance. So this being the Rubicon actually has better ground clearance when compared to the Unlimited, and I think it's around what, 15 mm more or so. I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but you're going to do a very steep drop in this car. And yeah, when I'm seeing the rocks and stones ahead, I'm a bit worried, but you don't feel anything of that on the inside. Yeah, you do move around quite a lot. You can hear sounds of the chassis flexing and all that, but it just goes very effortless. Engine has decent grunt, so you really don't have to go hard onto the throttle. You can just give it part throttle inputs. 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine, 270 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque. They have a lot more engine options available abroad, but we obviously get the base spec engine. there we are jumping, so I think we'll have to take a bit of a reverse. Okay. So globally there are a lot more engines. There's a 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 which was actually offered in India with the last generation model. I remember driving it, and that was a time where off-road vehicles weren't very fast. As soon as I accelerated, my mind was blown. It was so fast, it was so fast. This car is no slouch either. It goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 8 seconds, 8.1 seconds, and has a top speed of 174 kilometers per hour, which obviously feels quite a handful at higher speeds because the car does move around quite a bit. So in terms of other engine options, they have something known as the 4xe, which is a plug-in hybrid which gives you around, I think, 40 kilometers of range on electric only power. So if you don't want to disturb the surroundings, that is a very nice option because you can't hear anything in that. That kind of removes the feel also of the car. Turning radius is not the best, but now it's the time to slow down and we get into 4 low. So obviously in 4 low, ESC turns off automatically. Four low basically is low range transfer case. It has all the hardware you would expect, and because it's very old school, because like I was telling you, ladder frame chassis, and with the ladder frame the car does move around quite a bit, so low speed ride is not the best. Only thing is it kind of feels indestructible, so no matter where you drive it, big bumps and all, it takes in its stride without any issue. But low speed ride is not good. It feels better if you try to drive it fast over really bad bumps and big bumps. Now it just goes effortlessly. Obviously this is not a car for handling. Lot of body roll, lot of weight as well. It's quite a heavy car. Somehow you don't feel that weight at all. This engine gets the job done. It's not very high revving or fast revving, torquey enough at lower end of the rev range, and I think turbo lag is also very well contained, so you can just give it part throttle input, gets the job done. But it's a very thirsty engine as well, returns single digit numbers only. So if you're looking for efficiency, well, the Wrangler is not the one for you. They had a diesel earlier, I think, long back, and obviously a diesel is more suited for such terrains because firstly diesel is more efficient, you get a higher range as well. I think the range was around just 300 kilometers on a full tank, which is not that impressive. Right now range is 125 kilometers and we are like on 3/4 tank right now. So when you get into 4 low, obviously it drinks a lot more fuel, and the advantage of the diesel is more torque, so you need torque when you're going off-road. But I think it gets the job done. Yeah, nothing much to complain about in terms of the engine. Which actually reminds me that we are getting the Rubicon here. There's also a Rubicon X abroad. There's also a Willys variant, which is like the off-road variant, which has a lot more cool stuff. And the price range actually starts quite low for the base variant of the Wrangler abroad. I think around $32,000, which is roughly around 27 lakh rupees. But this variant is obviously more expensive. I estimate the price to be roughly around rupees 75 lakhs. I'm feeling very uneasy with my left foot right now, left leg to be precise, because there is no dead pedal. It feels very cramped lower down somehow. By the way, we just get an automatic gearbox option here. There are no paddle shifters, but you can manually take control of the gearbox if you want. However, abroad they also have manual option. Yeah, there's a 6-speed manual. This is an 8-speed torque converter automatic gearbox. Not the fastest with shifts, gets the job done. I wouldn't call it lethargic, but for the kind of work it has to do, it is smooth enough. And I think the radiator has kicked in. I can hear the sound, and that's the reason you would probably want the 4xe, which won't disturb the surroundings and the nature and the animals, because this car can get a bit loud. Oh, the biggest and the most important engine in this car I forgot to mention. It's a V8. Yeah, it's known as the 392. Very old school, 2 valve per cylinder, and that particular engine is not even direct injection. Yeah, it's very slow revving, but it sounds really nice, and this is the last year of that particular engine. Obviously we're not getting it in India. That's the engine which also goes into the Charger, the Challenger. All those cars also use that particular engine. Even though I've decided not to touch the brake or the accelerator, my feet, both my legs are actually sliding down. And just check this, okay? Let's see what we hit there. I'm just keeping the steering absolute dead straight. I'm letting the car decide its trajectory, because obviously it just stopped, but because obviously it has been here before, so the road is already marked, so it knows where it needs to go. It is so effortless that at a point I think while we even in the car can do it on its own, because neither do I have to give steering inputs, neither do I have to touch the accelerator or the brake. It's just so effortless, and it doesn't even feel hairy. Now obviously because it's so, like, I am pointing dead straight on the ground, so I'm feeling a bit nauseous, but other than that, this guy is just taking it like so easy peasy. Very interesting. The only thing is the hill descent control is working, and you can hear that sound. It's continuously making that sound to tell you that it is working. I think now we can turn off hill descent control because we've like crossed the majority of the dip here. I know a lot of other SUVs can do all this, but the kind of effortlessness with which the Wrangler can do it, I don't think anyone else can, because the Wrangler was made just for this particular job, just to go off-road and just conquer off-road terrain without stressing out the driver. Alright, air conditioning off. Let's turn on the forward camera because it is time to splash. We are in 4 high. It's obviously slushy as well. Oh, there's a lot of water. There's a lot of slush as well. Oh my goodness. So 864 mm of water weighting capacity is what's there in this car. Going through sand, and it actually is kind of loose sand, but yeah, traction control light blinking continuously. This car has a ground clearance of 237 mm. Actually the Unlimited has a lesser ground clearance, which is obviously because of the way the tires are on both the cars. These are 17 inches higher profile tires, which obviously helps. In terms of the axle, it is having a heavy duty axle, so it's able to tow quite a lot, 2200 kgs, which obviously makes no sense in India because we obviously don't attach a trailer. But then in the United States, where majority of the sales happen, there people actually have a lot of value for high towing capacity. So yeah, because of it being heavy duty, 2200 kgs is what it can tow, which is more than the weight of this car, because the weight of this car is 2147 kgs. Somehow I'm quite surprised you don't feel the weight at all. Yeah, you don't feel the weight at all. The wipers, they make some sound. I think a little bit of mud or something is stuck on the windscreen right now. A small, I don't know, whatever it is, it's just making some sound when you're using it. The sand has increased quite a lot. We'll turn on the camera, and yeah, it is smooth here. Thing is, the articulation is actually quite good, and you can increase the articulation on the front wheels by using that sway bar function. Basically what the sway bar does is it disengages the front anti-roll bars, because of which the articulation becomes even better. And I think the camera automatically shuts after a certain speed. We can clean it as well. Traction control system is quite intrusive. It's continuously kicking in, not letting me put any power down only, and then movement is a lot. So I actually had the unfortunate opportunity of sitting in the rear bench of this car on the road, and trust me, the ride is absolutely horrendous. It moves around too much. There's not much space. You feel claustrophobic. So it makes me wonder, why not just reduce the price and give us the 3-door version of the Wrangler? Because yeah, people you hate can sit at the rear, but honestly you wouldn't want to sit there. So right now we are driving this car on rock, and seatbelt is not buckled up, because if I buckle up the seat belts, then in case the car drowns, how will I escape the car? So good off-road practices, if you're going through a river stream, do not buckle up, and that's what exactly I'm doing right now. You can feel that the car is moving around quite a lot on such roads, but it doesn't feel like anything is going to break. That's how robust and rugged it feels. That is the beauty of the Jeep Wrangler, and in spite of the ruggedness, it has that last level of refinement as well. It feels very smooth. Now Jeep has actually given a proper spot between the two cup holders to keep the keys, so that whenever you go off-road, no matter how much you get tossed around, the car's keys will not get lost. And now it is time to enter this water stream. Okay, time to enter the Sutlej River. We are in 4 low right now, and obviously this is going to be super effortless. All right, let's go. Oh, that is quite deep now. I can feel it. Air intake is actually on the top in the hood. That's the reason why it has such nice water weighting capacity. Handbrake is on. That's what I was thinking, why the car is going so slow. crazy. Oh my god, look at the amount of water. Crazy. कुर्सी की पेटी बांध लीजिए सब लोग. That's a lot. Okay, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and off we go. So how do I sum up the Wrangler? Well, changes aren't really big in this facelifted model. Minor changes, but this big screen is obviously a big welcome as well. People like big screens, and this being a big screen obviously makes the interior feel a bit more modern right now. The car is fantastic as always, but it's not really meant for road use. Unless and until you are planning to go off-road, do not buy this car. But this car has two problems. One is MT and the other is FB. Two major problems for this car. MT obviously, first we'll come to the FB, which is not an India specific problem because it is the Ford Bronco, which is a better car. The Bronco just feels better in almost every way, but unfortunately, forget Bronco. We don't even have Ford in India. But if the Bronco comes to India, which is very unlikely, it would really give a tough fight to the Wrangler. Then on the other side, there's obviously the Defender, which again is a better car, but again extremely expensive in comparison, but totally worth the money because the Defender is absolutely amazing. It rides better too because it's a monocoque platform. This being body on frame has its restrictions, isn't able to give you a good or comfortable ride. You're always tossed around on the inside, which makes it a pretty bad car for city, highway or urban use. But off the road, this is an absolute beast. It just drives supremely well when you hit any bad patch of the road. The other problem, which is MT, obviously happens to be the fact that this car has to compete with the Mahindra Thar, which gives me a chance of doing the 0 to 100 km/h test. And off we go. Little bit wheel spin because we are in rear wheel drive. Oh my god, it does accelerate nicely, but it shifts quite fast, around 5000 RPM. So the other problem I'm talking about is the Mahindra Thar. There's no competition with the Thar. This car is far superior. But the problem is that Mahindra has copy pasted to the level that this car and the Thar, they look awfully similar. With the current Wrangler, which is the pre-facelifted model, whenever I used to see it on the road, for the first time, like the first glance is like, oh, that's a Thar. And then you see the additional doors, you're like, oh, okay, that is the Wrangler. But now with the Thar coming in the 5-door, that confusion is going to get even worse. And I personally wanted to buy the Wrangler. I really like this car. But then if I buy a car worth 75 lakh rupees and people equate it to around rupees 20 lakh rupees, that's not a very good thing to happen, right? And this problem is not a Mahindra problem. It's a problem created by Jeep itself by giving them the rights. Yeah, Jeep has given the rights to Mahindra long back to be able to copy paste the design of their cars, which they're only able to do in India because whenever Mahindra launches the car anywhere else in the world, Jeep lets them do it. Once the car is launched, then they file a case and the vehicle production is stopped and they are not able to sell that car. That's a nice strategy. That strategy is nice because with that strategy, oh, there comes the Wrangler 3-door. With that strategy, it at least makes sure that Mahindra doesn't even take the effort next time, because they take so much effort in producing the car for the global market and then preparing it for launch, doing all the marketing activities, creating the teasers, creating the hype, and then Jeep is like, no, you can't do that anymore. So that is another problem, because 1/3 the price for the Thar and the car looks awfully similar. Obviously this is a far superior product, but I honestly feel that if Jeep prices this aggressively now, this is a car which can eat into Toyota Fortuner sales, because the Fortuner top end also goes above 60 lakh rupees. This is be around 75 lakh rupees with the facelift. Complete worth the cost considering the capability. Only thing is Jeep's sales and after sales network is a bit lackluster, and that's one area where Jeep really needs to work on. Otherwise, how things are going, we really don't know what is the next car coming from Jeep, because they just have the Compass 7-seater, the Meridian, and this one, and the Grand Cherokee. There's so many nice cars like the Wagoneer and whatnot abroad, and we have just so many limited variants of this car in India. We could get more variants for sure. So guys, this is my video of the Jeep Wrangler facelift. Fantastic car, but an image issue of sorts, all thanks to the Mahindra Thar, which is now being associated as a chapri vehicle. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye-bye.